Hey guys, it's me Keisha, and I am here with my all tea, all shade Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip Season 2, Episode 1 through 3 review. I am so happy that this new franchise is back. We are in the Berkshires at Dorinda Medley's home, and this season is far more crazy, dramatic, funnier than last season. The opening season was great. This is fucking fantastic. This season we have Dorinda, we have Jill Zarin, we have Eva Marcille, we have Phaedra Parks, Jill Zarin, Tamra, what's her name? Brownie or something like that. No, Brownie. Tamra Judge, Vicki Gunvulson, Taylor from Beverly Hills, and Brandi Glanville all in one house for 10 days. Can you imagine the chaos that is going on in this house? And they're in the Berkshires. Every time somebody goes to Dorinda's house, fucking just, it's a shit show. It is a fucking shit show. So the ladies, however, have no clue that Jill will be joining them on this girls trip. Dorinda has decided to keep that a secret because she won't be arriving until the next day. So Dorinda has had the Blue Stone Manor clean, landscaped, have all the rooms prepped. All the ladies have gifts on their bed. She has a full staff. She has a butler. Like, she has gone above and beyond for these women. Of course, Bravo paid for it. You know what I'm saying? But she has everything laid out for the girls. She's super excited to have all the ladies there. She knows some, she doesn't know others. So this is going to be a fantastic trip. I was happy to see Dorinda. I love Dorinda on Real Housewives of New York. You know, she got fired season before last because of her attitude. It just wasn't a good season for her. I do believe Dorinda when she says that Andy called her and said that they're going to put her on pause for a season. I don't believe that she will not be coming back. I know for a fact she'll be coming back either on the New York OG show or on the New York show that they are formatting and getting together, because Dorinda is just reality television gold. She's funny, she's sassy, she's angry, she's a drunk, she's everything that you want in a housewife. So I was technically happy to see Dorinda, but you know, the downside of Dorinda is bossy. She likes things to go her way. She's very anal. She is ticky boom boom. One minute she good, the next minute she got an attitude with you. So you just never know what Dorinda you're going to get. Then we have Faye. Phaedra Parks is back, and she has brought back Thoughtlandia. Phaedra got fucking wigs and shit all the way down to her asshole, honey. She got long nails now. She is just giving us Thotiana, honey. I don't know what is going on, but she is feeling her judge, feeling her cunt, and I guess I'm here for it. I just, every time I look at Phaedra, it's still in the back of my mind what she did to Candy, because what she did to Candy is just so horrendous, and I need for that to be brought up on this show so we can see how she feels about what she did today, and if she's going to finally admit to what she did, because remember, she never really, excuse me you guys, I'm so tired. She never really admitted to doing it at the reunion. But I am happy to see her back on screen. It's refreshing. I was never a huge Phaedra fan, but I will give it to her. She has great one-liners. She is funny as hell. She gets the party started. Her facial expressions and everything are just top notch. You always know what she's thinking, what she's feeling. So I know having her in the house with all of these crazy ass white women was going to be hilarity at its best. She and Eva fly in together. You know, Eva got fired after her third season on the show. So sorry. Jesus Christ, y'all. I'm so tired. I've been working my ass off this week. But anywho, Eva is back with a new hairdo. She's got a hippie vibe to her clothes still. She's still gorgeous as hell. I mean, she has 3 children. She's working steadily. She has, Dish Nation. She has her show on BET Plus, All the Queen's Men, which is coming back for season 2. Like, Eva is out here still doing the damn thing. And I wish that she would have still been on the show, because I liked Eva on the Housewives. So I was disappointed when she got let go, but I'm happy that she decided to come on the Ultimate Girls Trip, because everybody on this season are ex-housewives. They're no longer employed by the network. So I just knew Eva was going to be looking at everybody like, these ladies are fucking insane. I'm here for my check, to wear my outfits, and to look at everybody and judge their life. That's what Eva was immediately giving me. In the first 3 episodes, Eva was more so playing like devil's advocate, trying to figure things out. She was giving us funny moments. She really clicked off rip with Brandi. Of course, her and Phaedra are sticking close together because they know each other. But Eva has really gotten along with everybody in the house, especially Taylor, Brandi, and Tamra. Vicki is kind of iffy, because Vicki is iffy with everybody. But Eva is like the central nucleus where everybody flocks to her or Phaedra. Her and Taylor actually had a really good one-on-one session where they sat down and talked about spousal abuse, because they both were abused in their past relationships, and they were able to bond over that, which was really a touching thing to watch them both talk about their dramatic past with their abusive partner. So that was really poignant, and I was here for that, because I felt like that would help a lot of women out there who are going through something like that right now. Now, Phaedra pretty much just been, oh, Lord. Whoo, clutch my pearls. Give me a lemonade. Like, Phaedra still is giving us that whole church lady vibe that she has been giving us since she first started on Housewives. She's still funny. She gets along with everybody. She doesn't have any beef with anybody in the first 3 episodes. She just basically has been giving us really good confessionals, different wigs, and trying to help Brandi not put her foot in her mouth. I don't know how many times. Like, she has really been like a big sister to Brandi, because Brandi don't give a fuck about nothing that she say, and she's always offending somebody, and Phaedra keeps on reminding her like, girl, you cannot say that, like, you are tripping. So hasn't much really been going on with Faye in the first 3 episodes. Then we go to Jill Zarin. So like I said, the ladies didn't know that Jill was arriving until day 2. So all the ladies are outside at Dorinda's pool getting their feet done. They're all getting pedicures. Everybody's laughing and talking, enjoying themselves, getting along. Taylor and Brandi, that's like the moment when we saw them actually starting to really bond with each other. Eva and Taylor were sitting next to each other, and they started really bonding because Taylor brought out this scarf. It's a healing scarf that she has, and she shows it to Eva, and Eva's really into all of that type of stuff, and they bonded over Taylor's friend climbing Mount Everest, and Eva has a friend that has done all of that, and her goddaughter name is Everest, which I think that is such a fly ass name. So we really get to see them start to bond with each other, because they've gone through the similar things in each that the other person has gone through. And I really like this duo. I didn't even see it coming, but I'm loving Taylor and Eva as friends. So like I said, Jill arrives the second day when everybody's outside getting pedicures, enjoying themselves, having a cocktail, and she walks in and she tries to recreate the moment that she had when she popped up unexpectedly on Scary Island. But this time, the reaction was even worse than the first time, because some of the girls didn't even know who she was. Eva Thompson, who is that? I recognize her, but I don't know who she is. Who is this lady? And then the other people was looking like, is that Jill? What the fuck is she doing here? What the hell is going on? Nobody got up to greet her. Nobody got up to hug her. Everybody was looking clueless as hell. She's sitting there looking stupid like, this didn't go over well, but I gotta stick with it. Like she had on a shirt that said surprise Team Jill. It was so cringy. It was so awkward. It was so random. And it was just giving me secondhand embarrassment. I'm like, Jill, just get somewhere and sit down. Then Jill started talking. She just would never shut up. She telling everybody, ooh, I got this. I'm going to buy you that. Oh, you need to get this. I'm going to get this for you. It's like she tries to buy people's affection. And I'm like, ain't nothing about you changed since you were on the show, because this is exactly what you did to Bethany. So I can't really fuck with you or trust you either, because Jill just recently was in the blogs for saying that she felt like Bethany only came to Bobby's funeral basically for clout or whatever the case may be. Like, Jill just got a lot of fakeness to her that I just don't subscribe to. She's alright, but for the most part, she doesn't give me the Jill that we knew and loved on Roni. You know, that Jill, you know, was confrontational. She said what needed to be said. She had funny lines. But now she just acts so meek and weak and just, I just ain't feeling her Judge as of right now. She's awkward. It's like she walking around the house talking to herself all the goddamn time. And she's just weird. She's just not giving me old Jill. And I was like, honestly, she could have stayed the fuck at home, to be honest with you, because she has added nothing to the show. Nothing. Next up, we have Tamra Judge. I have a love-hate relationship with Tamra. When she was on Real Housewives of OC, like, she always got the party started. She was always the bone collector. She was always starting shit. She had no problem cussing somebody out. But she used to, like, to me, come across playing a character almost of herself. And I didn't feel like as if she was being really real or genuine anymore with the show. I felt like she started treating the show like it was a soap opera and I gotta create the most drama to get the, you know, the most money. And it worked for a while until it didn't. So Tamara and Vicki arrived together. Tamara looks really, really good for her age. She's still in shape, face still put together, except for when she ain't got no makeup on, because child, her face, Taylor's face, and Vicki's face without makeup is scary as shit. They walking around here looking like some milk of magnesium. I'm like, where are y'all going? The rest of their bodies look all red and shit like a lobster. And then they faces are giving me heavenly ghosts. I'm like, oh, Lord, put your makeup on. Sleep with that shit on, because y'all scary. I would be scared out of my mind if I walked into a room on them in the middle of the night. Child, nope. But Tamara's still married to old boy Eddie or whatever. She's a grandmother. She's out here doing her damn thing. But Tamara has an issue with Brandi because they had a social media beef back in the day. So when they initially see each other, Tamara is judging her like her last name, trying to figure out if Brandi gonna start shit with her. Like, she just really does not see it for her. But so far on the show, they have gotten into it. They have yelled at each other, told each other to shut the fuck up, fronted each other about who started with who on Twitter. And then they've had these moments where they laughing and kikiing with each other, like when they did the little race or whatever, the relay race or whatever they was outside in the grass doing. So they have a really weird relationship. But to me, I think that Tamra and Brandi could actually get along with one another. They're literally alike, except for Brandi, of course, is more boozy, more drunk, and, you know, sloppy, whereas Tamara is more calculating and always on her toes and always surveying the room, so she knows who's the weakest, who got the most shit going on that she can exploit. Like, Tamara's one of those people that likes to exploit other people's situation to make it bigger and to keep the fire off of her. But I think as far as like just sitting down two women that like to have fun, I think that they would actually be really good Judies if they can get past this little petty beef that they have going on. Tamara ain't really did too much this season so far outside of getting into it with Brandi. She's been really nice and cool with Eva and Phaedra. I've been loving her outfit so far. To me, she's like the best dressed on the cast this season. I'm liking her so far. Like, she hasn't really done too much. Next up, we then have Vicki Gunvulson, child. Vicki is back, the OG from the OC. You know, she kicked this shit off with the Real Housewives franchise. Vicki just walks in the house looking withered. She looked like she been in Westeros. She looked like she has been walking the earth with the Night King. Vicki looks terrible. We find out that she recently just had COVID. She's still in the house hacking in a coffin or whatever. She's sick. She ends up having to go to urgent care. She got a sinus infection, child. She's being a Debbie Downer from the moment she walks into the Dorinda's house, because they started filming literally a day or two right after her fiance Steve broke up with her and broke off their engagement. So the lady was going through a breakup, a broken heart, and she's sick, and she at this lady house that she really don't know like that for 10 days with other women she really don't know like that. So I did feel for Vicki because she was going through it. I mean, everybody acted like, okay, he broke up with you, the engagement's off, get over it. But I'm like, she was with this man for 6 years. She obviously loved him. They were going to get married, even though she brought her own engagement ring. But, you know, this is Vicki we're talking about. But she did love the man, and I felt like they honestly could have gave her more grace. But at the same token, Vicki walks around with an attitude. She's bossing like the staff around and just being a grump and just being negative, and her and Brandi are getting into it. I agree with Dorinda with Dorinda's statement that she felt like Vicki just was gonna go after after Brandi anyway, because she just don't like her. And I agree. But Brandi ends up telling Vicki to go fuck herself, and Vicki looked around like, who you talking to? Vicki was like, girl, you will never, ever, ever, ever in your life tell me to shut the fuck up again, okay? She was like, you do not talk to me like that. I would not talk to you like that. We are not about to do that. Vicki got Brandi ass together so motherfucking quick. But Vicki is just out of it, honey. She is on her last leg. All the ladies keep on telling her that they happy she left. Well, that Steve broke up with her because he wasn't the one. He just came across looking shiesty. She also goes on to tell the girls that her and Steve hadn't even had sex in 13 months and that she had purchased a home in New Mexico. This man was going back they used to go back and forth. This man decided he was going to stay in the home in Mexico. So then she started flying back and forth to go visit him in her own home in Mexico. And talking about she don't know if he was cheating. Vicki, it's obvious this nigga was cheating on you and then he met somebody else. How you gonna have a motherfucker staying in your shit and y'all go together and he could very well be in the same house as you? What the fuck is going on? And she said she would try to like touch on him and he'd be like, I'm not in the mood or whatever. Girl, you know damn well he was cheating on you, and then you got your proof, because months after they broke up, he ended up marrying somebody else. So the fuck is going on? Like, Vicki has so like low self-esteem, and she is so desperate for a man that she be willing to put up with any and everything from anybody. The fact that you had to buy your own ring, talking about something because he couldn't afford what you wanted. Girl, oh God, Jesus the Christ, Vicki Gunvulson. But she immediately is getting on Dorinda's nerves. She hadn't even been in Dorinda's house 2 minutes and she already complaining and shit. looking around, asking questions, and just judging everything, got her face tuned up. And Brandi even goes as far as to tell Tamra that she feels like Tamra is more fun when she's not around Vicki. And Tamra admits that, it's like because she has to babysit Vicki, and that gotta be tiresome. Like, bitch, we old. Ain't nobody got time to be walking around babying your ass like a whole fucking trip. So Vicki and Dorinda end up getting into it over vaccines because Vicki don't agree with getting vaccinated. She feels like that's some old man-made the man type shit. She don't agree with it. Dorinda is offended because she knows people who have passed away from COVID, and she was like, this is not a political thing, it's like a human rights thing, and like basically you sound crazy, you sound stupid. Dorinda goes off on Vicki. Vicki just sitting there looking like a goddamn ghost in the face. And that was the first time we saw, as Eva called her, Dornado, take full effect, because Dorinda slam went off on Vicki, honey, because she didn't like her from how the way she even just came into her house judging shit, being a Debbie Downer, bossing people around. She's just Vicki and shit, what's the fucking lady name from Real Housewives of New York? Y'all know, Ramona. Vicki and Ramona would be best friends because they're both rude. They don't know how to talk to people. They both wishy-washy. They both are fucking crazy, entitled ass white women that are fucking Republicans. Then Vicki ended up, like I said, she got into it with Brandi. Who else did Vicki get? Oh, Vicki snapped at Eva, and Eva had to let her know she is not the one nor the two. This is not what you want to do over here. Like, Vicki just been getting into it with everybody, child. Everybody. Like, but it makes for great television because this house is like Hell House. I would have enjoyed every moment being in that goddamn house with them crazy bitches. Next up, we got Taylor Armstrong from Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Have not seen her on my screen in years. Taylor still looks the same, but her face is literally like melting. She has so much filler in her face. Her cheeks and her face is just so puffy and blown up, but at the same time, it's like dragging. Her face, Vicki's face, and Brandi's face look horrible. This is proof to leave your shit alone sometimes, and to not be fucking with your face at such young ages, because the older you get, the worse that shit is going to look, because you already did so much before you get to an age where you really truly need it. So now you just playing fucking catch up and steady fucking with your face, and it makes it worse. Like, they look horrible without makeup. Taylor don't know how to do her eyebrows. Her eyebrows are literally horrendous. It looked like somebody's child put them on. She's married now. Kennedy, we got to see her daughter Kennedy. Kennedy is 15 and she looked just like her father. May he rest in peace, child. Taylor has issues with Brandi because they didn't get along when they both was on Real Housewives of New York. They sit down and try to have a conversation, and Brandi was like, I didn't have no problems with you, but basically like how all of y'all was mean to me, but you did stick up for me at certain instances. And they try to work things out, but things are, the conversation just doesn't go that well for Taylor, because Taylor feels even more offended now. Then when they go to get their life's read by this lady that read coffee cups, Brandi is sitting at the table with them and was talking about how her first season on Beverly Hills was one of the worst, and it was because Taylor's husband had offed himself and she loved them so much and it affected her so much. And and Tamara was like, so you had a bad season because her husband offed himself? She was like, yeah. Everybody was looking like, are you fucking serious, bitch? But at this point, Brandi is sloshed. She is had I don't know how many drinks. So of course she's talking out the side of her neck, and it was fucking ridiculous. Like, I was like, why are you saying this, girl? Like, this man was abusive to this lady. Oh, and she also even said to Taylor that she didn't know back then whether or not if Taylor was telling the truth about being abused by Russell, because as soon as he died, she wrote, a tell-all book. But like, she had to explain that when he passed on, he hid all of their finances or whatever, and she had to, make a living for her and her daughter. So she had to write a book because she could get the advance money, to keep them afloat. So everything just went downhill from there. And I'm like, Brandi, you just keep on putting your foot in your fucking mouth, girl. Shut up. And so she tells, at some point, she ended up telling Taylor to shut the fuck up. And Taylor and that cat face came out. And Taylor was like, don't you ever tell me to shut up. You shut your fucking mouth, you fucking bitch. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? Literally, what in the hell is going on? Because it be Eva and Phaedra's face for me, because they be looking around like, are we in the fucking Twilight Zone? These white bitches are fucking insane, and I be cracking the hell up, child. And last but not least on the show, we have Brandi, child. Brandi is just Brandi. Brandi has not changed at all since we last saw her on Beverly Hills. She's still a drunk. She's still messy. She's still hypersexual. She still like to run around naked. Her hands are still like very stiff. I don't know what's going on with her hands. I don't know if she got like some issues with her hands or whatever. But like I said, she walks in with this horrible weave job, and I was like, why in the what is going on? Who installed them tape-ins? Because they were horrendous. They weren't blended well. Remember when Brittany had cut off all of her hair and she started to grow it back and she got extensions and the shit didn't blend? That's how Brandi's hair looked. And when she walked in, Tamara and them was looking at her like, ooh. Like, is this bitch on hard times? What is going on here? Brandi so far has gotten into it with Taylor, Vicki, and Dorinda. Dorinda ended up turning on her at some point over a fucking game because Brandi tried to remind Jill that, girl, we on national television. Don't fuck up and say some shit that is gonna blow up in your real life. And Dorinda got mad because Dorinda was the one that was supposed to be leading the game. And Dorinda just get mad over stupid petty ass shit. And she got to going in on Brandi, and Brandi was just sitting there looking like a wounded puppy, child. And it was just a mess. But then Brandi goes on to fucking say some weirdo shit to Eva about Eva's husband. She was like, he loves you, he adores you, you have supermodel looking children. When I first saw your husband, I thought he was gonna be like a mangina, but he's so hot. And Eva said, what is a mangina? She kept on asking the girl what was a mangina. And then Brandi started to backtrack because she knew she had fucked up and said some shit that she was supposed to keep in her brain and not to come out of her mouth. So they was explaining to Eva that basically she was saying that your husband is like pussy or weak or whatever. And Eva let her slide, but you could tell she was pissed off and she was hurt because, she had been sticking up for Brandi this whole time. But Eva made it known that this was her one and only, because after that, I'm going to get her ass. So I'm like, Brandi, girl, you just keep on fucking up. Like, girl, shut your mouth. Think before you speak. But when she get to really getting, sipping on that scissor, she don't know what to do with herself. And then another thing I want to point out before I end this is that I noticed that Eva kept on walking around with her purse. And I'm like, why does she keep on walking around with her purse? I didn't even want to entertain the fact that she could be doing drugs, because I was like, no. So I finally figured out what it was when she was sitting outside with Dorinda in episode 3, and she had her purse and she had opened it, and so she brought out her cigarettes. She's a cigarette smoker, which is gross. I'm like, Eva, no. I like the fact that you smoke weed. That's all up on you, girl. She's an avid weed smoker that she ended up going to a dispensary in the Berkshires and everything, but a cigarette smoker, gross. I know your breath be clowning. But anywho, love the first 3 episodes of the Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip. This cast, like I said, is crazy as hell. The first 3 episodes have been super entertaining, so funny. We're at the point where the ladies are starting to like gel with each other a little bit more, but there's still tension in the air with a lot of the girls. So it's just crazy. I will be doing weekly reviews on the show. I give the first 3 episodes an A+. I am living for it. I cannot wait to go back and watch it again this weekend. Let me know what you guys think of the Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip Ex-Wives edition. Season 2. You can only watch it right now on Peacock. You know, they did the same thing with Miami, how they played Miami on Peacock first, and then a few months later they then aired it on Bravo. So right now you can only watch the episodes on Peacock, and then it'll be on Bravo some months from now, probably around fall. So yeah, let's talk down below in the comment section. Make sure to thumbs up this video, like and subscribe, and hit that notification bell button. I love you guys, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.